is presented to you by Bad and Bougie Entertainment. I'm your host, Miss Nikki, the CEO. We have our other beautiful host, Dr. Kanecia Gaskin. And today we have the lovely Signature from Dollar Music Group. How you doing? And thank you for coming.
Blessing, bless. Thank you for having me.
Oh, we're pleased to have you. So, can you give us a little idea of how you came up with the name, and also give us some social media outlets so if anyone want to follow you, they'll know where to
Okay.
reach you.
I came up with my name Signature because I felt like personally, like even without being an artist, no matter what happens, or if we meet again, or if you never see me again, something that I either do or say is gonna leave a mark on you. So, I decided to. That's my signature.
All
I
right.
Okay.
also spelled it a little different because got to put my own little twist in it. So I spelled it Cygnature instead of an S.
Okay. So, give us your social media outlets.
I am Signature, the one and only, spelled Cygnature, and that's on all platforms and networks. You only get one signature. And
All
I
Okay.
plan
right.
on making that me.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
And you're very unique, like Dr. Gaskin. She always say, put a little color in it, do something unique. So it's,
Right.
yeah, so she does things different too. So she always put her own little twist on things too.
Always say you always want to leave something because they may not remember
Hmm
your name, they may not remember things you say, but they can remember an outfit, whether it's earrings, something different, something that you bring. So that was the reason why I always say that. Wear pop a color, wear something solid, and with your name being signature
Yes.
and spelling it different, CY, it's going to be catchy because it's unique and it's different. So, what made you want to venture into your talent that you actually coming out right now?
Honestly, like I started with a girl group, but I'm literally that person in the family that says you have a talent, you should do something with it.
Hmm.
Right.
But like back when I was young, I tried to rap with like my brothers and my cousins. I was like, "What you writing? What you writing?" So like, it's a whole different twist now.
What made you feel like I can do this?
Blind faith.
Blind faith. I
Oh.
like that. I like that. So, were you the shy type of individual, or you're saying that I was always outgoing? Is it different for you when you perform?
I'm shy. I really am. Like that's why I like everyone up there with me because it gets me hype and stuff. But as far as upcoming and coming into the music, it's a whole Cinderella story. Like I'm
Hmm.
not from Houston.
Hmm.
So with me not being from Houston and having to work hard, especially as a female, it just, without having to drop your ass for something, excuse my language, or, drop your pee for something or give up your spirit, soul, or values, it's a harder network.
Hmm. So, I'm going to ask you something. That's probably going to be a little deep and make you think. So, what would be the difference from being from Houston and where you're from? Why do you believe that you have to try extra hard to make your mark? I mean, and we do that in the business world. We do that in the artist world, in any industry. So, what does that look like for you?
Backstage, coming into the industry is more of a front stage thing because it's just like a heads or tails. Even in the industry, I believe that there's a front stage and there's a backstage because
Hmm.
people don't see the backstage that goes on for you
Hmm.
to get to the front stage.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So, me not being from Houston, I came from a world of gangs and drugs and stuff
Hmm.
like that. So, it's harder to get out
Yeah.
of that,
Yeah.
so the stuff that people watch on TV as far as West Coast, this and other. I'm from the West. I'm from El Paso. I'm from the west of Texas.
Hmm.
I'm my family's from California and stuff like that. The stuff they watch
Hmm.
for entertainment,
Hmm. It's
I
different.
live.
Live.
You live
So
it.
the culture is different.
Hmm.
Yes, ma'am.
So, what would you say have been some of the pivotal hardships that you have experienced while coming into this industry?
Uh, it's not easy.
No, it's not easy.
First and foremost, like when you dream about it, it's so much more different. And
Hmm.
then the hardships, even Miss Bad and Bougie, she knows,
Yeah.
I've come through a lot in the industry as far as I came up. I did win Female Artist of the Year 2 years running.
Congratulations.
Thank you, as well as
Congratulations.
Best Coming Up Artist. Female artist as that goes. I got on So What You Saying radio panel.
Yeah.
Shout out to my label manager now, Tony Hitman Bernard. Denton Bernard, Shorty Rock, that was SKRP. Just those hardships, and then you come into stuff, and I'm not gonna name names, even though I could be on some blast that ass type shit. Excuse
Yeah.
my language,
Yeah.
but you meet people, and I'm not just gonna say individuals, but everybody meets somebody off of a fall off.
Yeah.
And I tell people all the time, sometimes you meet some of the realest people through the fakest people.
Yeah.
Come on.
Most
So
definitely.
people call themselves 100 every day, and it's now on the line. So we
Hmm.
say 100 times 10.
Yeah.
Right.
We keep it straight G on an equation,
Mhm.
because there's people out there that swear they're 100. Let them keep that fake 100, because you can't tell them no different.
Hmm.
So we're going to keep it 10 times that.
Hmm.
And like I've learned
Mhm.
from mentors and older women, I've had industry fights.
Yeah. Yeah.
We've had, scuffles, because I am baby girl signature.
Yeah.
I
Hmm.
am learning.
Yeah.
I'm not out here sitting here like, oh, I done jumped into the industry and I know this. I'm sitting here, can I get your autograph? Because half of these people that
Yeah.
we work with now, I
Yeah.
grew up listening to.
Yeah.
Right. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
So it's just keeping faith,
Yeah.
Hmm.
through anything. And, going through gangs and drugs and watching best friends die at a
Yeah.
young age and stuff like that. When I came to Houston, everyone's like, oh, you going in the streets by yourself? Like,
Yeah.
well, Houston don't scare me.
Yeah.
And, I don't mean it to sound disrespectful. Shout out to Houston. I love Houston.
Yeah.
I love being adopted into the music
Mhm.
family. But when it comes to people,
Yeah.
people make the city.
Yeah.
And this city is a gumbo.
Yeah.
I've learned
Hmm.
it's a gumbo.
Yeah.
And, you know, I had to learn to take the name out of it and
Mhm.
start doing things on individual basis with
Yeah.
people.
Hmm.
Because, like you said, everybody does have a story.
Mhm.
Everybody has a story. And it seems so uniquely stated
Mhm.
to the point to where we always say, and something that I always say is that you turn pain into purpose.
Yeah.
And the things that you've been exposed to, I want to commend you because you didn't let it overtake you.
Yeah.
You allowed yourself to continue to be you and become who you are, and I see it, and I see yourself blooming
Mhm.
very well because you're not trying to be like somebody
Yeah.
else.
You have
You're
your
not
own.
trying to be a
You
replica.
Facts.
have your own
Yeah,
Facts.
yeah,
individuality, and you're
yeah.
gonna keep that, and you sticking to your guns with it. And it's
Mhm,
really hard coming into the industry as a female, and
mhm,
like you say, a female that's not dropping it like it's hot. You're not showing your goods. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying?
the
So,
cookies.
yeah, your cookies.
Cookies. The milk and
Yeah,
cookies.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah. So, and like you say, you're not on here name dropping, and it is hard.
respectfully
Yeah, you're
so.
being respectful,
Mhm,
and it is hard for females to come in, in the industry, and keeping it respectful, and
mhm,
and you will have that respect coming in with your own uniqueness, your own individuality, not saying coming in accepting someone else's culture. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? That's very important, and you keep your own culture.
mhm.
So that's really important. You don't let somebody else come in and tell you, okay, you coming into Houston, you have to learn our way. It's our
Or
way or
no
no
Right?
way.
way.
It's
You
like,
know what I'm saying?
why?
No, like you say, you come in and you be who you are. You don't let somebody
Mhm,
else tell you who you supposed to be. You come in as who you are, and that's what I'm saying, and
Yes,
that's gonna
ma'am.
keep you respected, and it's gonna keep, okay, that's signature. You know
authentic.
what I'm saying? It's gonna keep you
Mhm,
authentic, and that's you hold your own.
Yes,
And
mhm.
ma'am.
you know what I'm saying? You hold your own. You hold your own ground.
And that's what I respect. That even
That's
though,
what a lot of people will
yeah,
respect.
Mm.
even though individuals are from the same area,
Mhm.
they still can display uniqueness. Or
Yeah.
Mm.
even though you're from a different area, you still can display uniqueness and still fit in. And that's
Mhm.
what I like about this gumbo city.
Yeah.
Is that it's room for everyone to
Hmm.
Mhm.
grow. So, what would you say are some of the intricate parts that helped you grow
Because some
from
people
where
will
you
try to
were
change
to
you.
where you are now?
Communication with my mom. Before she
Mm,
like fell ill, because before she came out here and stuff like that, it's just like I said, the home value.
Yeah.
yeah.
You know, she always she always let me be creative.
Yeah.
So she was like, just do you. Ain't
Mhm.
nobody do you but do you.
Yeah.
So you get a yes or no answer.
Mhm.
I was like, okay, I'll go ask this.
Yeah.
All
Mhm.
they can do is tell me yes or no.
Yeah. And you
So
expect it to move on, whatever the answer is.
my mom,
Mhm.
my
Yeah,
birth mother,
Yeah.
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 I would say it's a billion, 7.6 billion people, if not grown more than that.
Mhm.
So if we tap into the right opportunity and
Mhm.
tap around the right people, mentorship, guidelines, people that want to help you grow and not want to have the crab in a bucket mentality, uh, it's room for everyone to benefit. It's room for everyone to grow. And I like that you I won't say attached, that you been inclusive with your mom, because there's so many people that won't reach back and
Yeah.
look to where help them
Yeah.
with their push.
Mhm.
And I like that.
But everybody needs help with something.
Everybody.
Everybody do,
Everybody
but
needs help with
Yeah,
something.
some people won't admit that they need help.
that's facts. That's facts.
Some people won't admit it, and some people won't accept it.
That's facts. And it's hard if you used to doing it by yourself.
Mhm.
It can be
Hmm.
hard to ask for help.
And I've been there, in my stubborn ways, but I think it was more trying to learn how to trust.
Yeah,
So,
That's a
and
big
that's
word.
very
like,
trust. That's a
especially being
Woo,
out of zone,
yeah,
that's a big word.
because it's like I'm here and I can't get into it with the girl down the street and expect my cousins and my aunties to come because
yeah,
they're going to have to catch a flight and go through customs and stuff.
yeah,
So, building a whole new relationship.
yeah,
Like Ivory Lacey, she's a friend turned sister. We watch kids grow up together
yeah,
before the
Right,
industry work together and stuff. Like it's a whole thing.
yeah.
right.
Okay. Well, we'll go into. Well, do you have any, not commercials? Do you have any projects that you're working on that you want to tell us about and introduce us to?
So excited about the projects. We are actually finishing up on the album Hibernation's Over.
Mm,
So I'm excited about that. The industry people that are on it, producers. Shout out to Lil Kano on the tracks, platinum artist. Shout out to, of course, Tony Hitman, my label manager, Serenity Promo. You ladies always, because the whole help. Anyone I come through, I'm like a sponge. So projects, hibernation's over. I've been performing some of them. We dropped Going In. That song, I like it. I'm trying to do something new. We're cooking up. I was in the studio, so other than the game and stuff going on, we have the album, the EP dropping, and actually August 20th, I am performing with K Reno at BFP with Michael 5000 Watts
Michael
at
Five
mm.
Thousand
Big
Watts.
Yogi's 7 year anniversary.
Most
So
definitely.
I'm
Shout out to Big
excited.
Yogi and
Shout out,
congratulations. Big Yogi just got
Congratulations.
married.
man.
Oh
And
yeah,
we'll be
congratulations.
right back with more of the beautiful signature.
Don't play with me. Don't play with me, pussy ass fake niggas. Now y'all gon' say hatin' fucking with us real hitters. Y'all wasn't ready, nah, but we knew that. Tyler Music Group, we stayed blowing speakers. Damn, wasn't playing when I said I don't fuck with bitch niggas. Keep watching Team Blossom, we them rich hitters. We gettin' money, yeah, no need to prove that.
J Dream, when you a
I
crop.
know this beat is nothing love. Now getting money's on my mind. If you want my attention, go hustle harder than mine. Go get some goals. I'm on that grown shit, cause anything that you got, best believe I could get. I'm the last of the giant breed of fool, but I get it honest. Educated cutie, graduated G shit with honors. Why these mediocre bitches pussy popping that ass? Man, my name is Signature, I handle my shit with class. Don't play with me, pussy ass fake niggas. Y'all gon' say hatin' fucking with us real hitters. Y'all wasn't ready, nah, but we knew that. Tyler Music Group, we stayed blowing speakers. Damn, wasn't playing once, I don't come on, bitch niggas. Keep watching Team Blossom, we them rich hitters. We getting money, yeah, no need to prove that.
J
Come
Dream,
on,
when
get
you a
ready, I
crop.
know this beat is the ass. Don't play with me, pussy ass fake niggas. Now y'all gon' say hatin' fucking with us real hitters. Y'all wasn't ready, nah, come on, knew that. Tyler Music Group, we stayed blowing. Come on, baby. Damn, wasn't playing when I said I don't fuck with bitch niggas. Keep watching Team Blossom, we them rich hitters. We getting money, yeah, no need to prove that.
J Dream, when
Get
you a
ready, I
crop.
know this beat is bad. Now niggas don't like me 'cause I'm a bitch and
Welcome back to Boss Women of Houston. We're gonna complete talking to the infamous Miss Signature. So tell us about the music you came up with Don't Play With Me.
Me.
Oh man, don't play with me. Really, don't play with me was my feelings. Coming from the streets, jumping into music. Just showing people, I'm doing this. I'm keeping it classy. It's business first, but don't play with me. We can get gutted with it.
All
Mm,
right.
mm. basically saying,
Don't let the pretty
I'm gonna
fool
be
you. Yeah, don't
professional,
let the
but
pretty fool you.
you
Facts.
know, okay, I'm gonna be
I
professional,
could be
but
bad and bougie.
at the same time,
Same time.
at the same time. So as you were getting into the music, how was the vibe? Like, what was the vibe of the "Don't Play with Me"? Besides saying, like I'm bad and bougie, but what was
it,
the
it
vibe
it was
behind it?
really coming into the world because of course as a female artist, when you first go to a couple of interviews or studios or something like that, they be like, I don't want to hear that song. They treat you like you one of the groupies or something
Yeah,
that's supposed
yeah.
to be there lining them up.
Mm,
Mhm.
So it's like, I'm not that type of person.
Yeah,
mhm,
So it was to show the males I can keep up with the big boys
yeah,
mhm,
without dropping something like that.
yeah,
And also
mhm,
to show the females like, look, I don't care if he's your nigga.
yeah,
Excuse me.
yeah.
I'm here handling my business because you don't know
Mhm.
what I got going on back home.
Yeah,
So it's like,
mhm,
don't play with me. Because
yeah.
at the end of the day, if you don't know my kid's name, my government name, or pay my bills, you're irrelevant to my immediate social life.
All right,
And then
all
you got to
right.
mean that with the most disrespect.
Mm. Don't play
Don't play
with
with
me.
me. You hear me? Don't play with me. I feel that. See, I
With the
feel
Straight like
that.
eyebrows
that.
in the air.
Straight
Don't
like
play
Don't
that.
with
play with me.
me.
Look like the rock.
Period.
Boo.
I need you guys on the cameo when we drop the video.
Okay. Oh, don't have us on there because we can do it. We can
Mhm.
do
What?
it.
That's what I need.
Yeah.
That's what I need. I
Raw.
Yeah.
need the ladies on my side
Mhm.
to know I'm out here doing it for us.
Yeah.
I'm
Mhm.
not just out here being something to where I'm gonna shake my thing and your man's
Yeah.
gonna have a poster of me posted up. I mean, he might have a picture of me posted up, but I'm just saying it's not gonna be because I'm dropping like,
Dropping it like it's okay. Yeah.
so
Respectfully so.
Yeah.
respectfully, you might
Yeah.
buy it for him.
Right.
So let me ask this. So you said I don't want to drop it like it's hot. I don't want to just expose myself. I want to be authentically different.
hmm
What made you come up with that concept? Because it's so many that may be in the industry, and not to take away from them because it's their purpose and they feel like they should do it. But
hmm
what made you decide that that is how you want to increase your platform,
My upcoming.
Mhm.
your upcoming?
Just going through the most,
Yeah.
watching the most, experience the most. Because even before writing music, I wrote poetry.
Yeah.
I wrote what I saw. Music's an escape from the hood. It's an escape from the gunfire and stuff like that. So just watching things, going through stuff, you know, tragedies, being beaten on,
Mhm.
being raped,
Yeah.
watching people being raped, just the whole female side of the hood.
Yeah.
People don't get to see that statistically.
No.
When a
Something they
man,
don't want to trigger. You don't want to trigger.
goes
Yeah.
when a
Mhm.
man goes to jail, that's it.
Mhm.
They never talk about what the female has to do to keep the lights on
Yeah. Yeah.
or what they have to do to feed a
Mhm.
child. So,
Mhm.
to watch my mom feed children,
Yeah.
help us grow and still be on and off with the hood, and it was just trying to keep my values
Yeah.
and trying to show a different way. That's why I came up with the whole breaking chains movement. And that's
Yeah.
Mhm.
when I do stuff for kids, because we do a lot of things in the community for children. Like, I'm always out here doing stuff for kids. We got together, feed the homeless, and all kind of stuff like that. This past year, we did Christmas. DG Bags was our Santa. We
Yeah.
went out and we
Mhm.
fed the homeless, and we handed out 40 stockings and stuff like that. And all we wanted was helping hands, because it's not
Right.
about what we've done and what we've been through. It's about
Yeah.
what we're going to perceive onto the world.
And where you going?
Mhm.
So, doing that and then having kids myself, and then, technology, and nowadays with them looking it up, it's like, okay, I know what I've done.
Yeah.
We all know how babies are made.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
all know the streets.
Mhm.
I'm not gonna say strippers are wrong. I've been a stripper, lost a bet, by the way.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But
Mhm.
it gave me a whole different
Perspective.
perspective.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Chinks.
Yeah.
But it just gave me a whole different perspective, and the fact that I'm nosy and like to learn and like to read books.
Yeah.
It's just I'm soaking it in, and
Mhm.
I'm trying to
Mhm.
understand.
Mhm. Mhm. I always tell people, perspective can create profit and purpose
Mhm.
in a person's life. And when all people think profit is automatically attached to money,
Mhm.
Mhm.
profit is not always attached to money. And the reason why I say that profit can be profitable in your mindset,
Mhm.
your internal work, and it seems like you've been through a lot, and you don't learn to channel it and to help others.
Mhm.
I'm still
Because the
learning.
breaking the chain movement, and we all are,
Still
yeah,
learning.
it's a learning process. But the breaking the chain movement It's something that I don't know if you're building it or
Mhm.
you're trying to get it into play and
Yes,
want it to
ma'am.
be something that is something that you're going to continue to do.
Yes, ma'am.
So what are some of the strategies and techniques and tools and resources that you need to get it developed?
Like-minded soldiers.
Yeah.
Volunteers, volunteers. Okay.
Because at the end of the day, I always do it to my own budget
Yeah.
that I can. So when I do it, all I'm asking for is helping hands. Help me do this.
Yeah.
Help me
Mhm.
pass this out. I didn't ask nobody to buy no Santa suit. I didn't ask nobody for the 100 meals. I didn't
Yeah.
do none of that.
Yeah.
We get it and tenfold.
Yeah.
You'd be
So
surprised
if
how many
other
people.
people, like you
Yeah,
said, come through and
yeah.
like let's say my budget's $150.
Yeah.
Mhm.
If other people come through and it gets like that and it starts to build, I've learned the hard way that a single grain of rice, and actually it was a conversation that
Hmm.
Hitman had with me,
Mhm.
talking
Mhm.
about a single grain of rice can tip the scale,
Yeah.
Yeah, it can.
because I was in the whole transition with the slander and
Yeah.
the movements. We not gonna say the names because everybody knows Signature.
Yeah. Yeah.
We not gonna name names, but everyone knows the whole slander and then to come through it. But through that, when it happened, Corin Hawthorne has a song talk about won't he do it.
Mhm.
Mhm.
What was meant to break me down
Yeah.
turned
Won't
out to
he
be
do
one.
it?
Yes, he
Yeah, he
will
will. Yeah,
fight
I
your
know.
battles for you. They
Oh,
gonna
get me,
wonder how you sleep at
baby. That
night.
fresh wind coming.
Straight like that.
That fresh wind coming. So I want to tell you, as I mentor people, not to take over the interview with
You
you, but
good.
the thing about it is that when we go through hardship, it develop us who we are,
Hmm.
and people think that it's a bad thing when we go through things, but it's not, because we had to go through that to get to where we are,
Mhm.
and where we are and the things that we go through is not for us, it's for
Hmm.
somebody else,
Mhm.
because our assignment is never about us. Our
Mhm.
assignment is always to serve and to deliver.
And that's what I'm
Mhm.
learning.
Yeah.
I'm learning my place on the chessboard. And
Mhm.
I'm a muse. And everyone it'd be like, "What do you mean
Mhm.
you're a muse?" I'm a muse. When I be
Mhm.
going through things, everybody else gets ideas. I'm like, "Okay, let's do this." Just like you said,
Mhm.
how about,
Mhm.
oh, can I?
Rub up.
You know?
I'm a
Yeah.
chameleon.
Mhm.
Because wherever it is, I can blend into wherever I am, but I'm still gonna be seen
Yeah.
Amen.
when I want to be. Because when
Mhm.
I'm ready to change over to the next pattern, I know how to do that.
Most
And that's how
definitely.
you have to be in the process of your mind wherever you are. You can't stay stagnant because of the issues that we've been exposed to,
Mhm.
Hmm.
had to deal with. We still have to come to become who we are and who we destined to be. And so many of us allow our internal issues to prevent us from catapulting forward.
Yeah.
But
Hmm.
I like that about you that you didn't. I like that about you that even though the slander that you mentioned and the things that you were exposed to, because slander is hard,
Yeah.
And
that you still overcame it and you still pushing forward.
you know what's crazy about that slander? Like, it was just so off the wall. I was still pushing
Mhm.
the movement that slandered me. The day it got slandered, like I couldn't see nothing online. I
Mhm.
was blocked. I got like 30
Mm.
something calls talking about, do you see what's going on with you online? So I'm like, what y'all talking about?
Mhm.
But when it actually came out, I was in there like, all right, if that's how you wanted to move, that's fine.
Yeah.
But as an artist, I should know what's going on with my
Yeah.
business and my artistry before the world.
Yeah.
Right.
So that I did not appreciate.
Yeah.
But other than that, what was supposed to break me down was the best thing, right?
Yeah.
I
That
told
same
you.
day, 9 different labels hit me up.
Right.
Yeah.
Because people think when your haters are your
I got a
best
song called "Let 'Em Hate" for
publicity.
a reason.
They're your
Mhm.
best publicity because they're going to talk and then people going to want to see you for yourself.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
the
They gonna want
things
to know
that
who
they
you
come
are,
and
what they
want to
talking
see,
about. Yeah.
exactly, when they see you, you just make sure that it is real,
Yeah.
Amen.
and it'll out talk the things that were said.
You know what? There's somebody got my name in a diss track.
That's okay.
That's
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 okay.
what I
okay.
said.
Because you know
Thanks
Look
what?
for the
That's
how
free
them
still
artists
artist.
that's
Thanks
that
for the
that
free
twist
promo
it.
because
that's
it's
what I was just
expensive.
gonna say.
Because
That's what
look
I
how
was
them
gonna
artists
say.
use that to twist it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Just like on, I don't want to say names because copyright and things like that, infringements, but just like certain people say slandering words and they get it on a T-shirt,
Mhm.
and then you twist it around and make it work for you.
Yeah.
And then end up making more than the people that originally dropped it.
People looking for rebuttals these
Yeah.
days.
And not
Yeah.
only that, they gonna want to see who you are. They
Mhm.
doing you a favor.
Mhm.
Thanks for the free promo.
There you go.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what? And then also, telling your story, it's when you tell your story, you would never know how many people are going through the same thing. You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying? And they
Mhm.
can relate. And when you tell your story, somebody else may not know how to deal with what they're going through. And when you come out and tell your story,
It
you
helps.
you it help them. It
Yeah.
Mhm.
help them. Like, say for
And they'll
instance,
reach
you
out.
know a lot of things that you just said. Someone else that might have just helped a lot of women.
Mhm.
Gang violence, drugs. Coming moving to a new city. I was just saying something about me having to go through a career change.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? How am I going to deal with that? And Dr. Gaskin was like, "You can do it." I had to go through a career change because we've been working together over 20 years.
Well,
You know what
amen
I'm
to that
saying? Yeah,
friendship.
and we're like sisters, and it's nothing that I can't call her for, and she's not gonna tell me, look, you can do it. You know what I'm saying? So you never know how
God
words can
positions
change.
and how He
Yeah,
positions
and how
people.
he positioned people, and just a few words that you just said, coming here, starting a life over, being a female artist, having morals. You never know how many
Mhm.
lives you may have just changed, just
And
saying
touched.
that, being in a scandal and still being strong, and not letting somebody tell you who you should be.
Mhm.
Hold, you know what I'm saying? That's very important,
Mhm.
especially as a female.
And
So
since
I'm
we,
really
yeah.
I'm really proud of you for holding to. You're very
Oh,
beautiful,
thank
and
you.
you know what I'm saying. And it's this what Boss Woman of Houston. I really consider you a Boss Woman of Houston, even though you're not from Houston, and we're gonna adopt you in the Boss Woman of Houston because
I'm
that's
Houston
what Boss
now.
yeah that's what Boss Woman of Houston is about. Women uplifting Houston. I
Okay.
mean,
Each
uplifting
other.
Houston. Women
Within.
uplifting women.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And what you're doing is uplifting other women. You don't
Mhm.
have to show your body. You don't have to shake your butt. You don't have to show your goods. You know what I'm saying? And still be
Mhm.
a woman and still be professional.
Mhm.
So I really, my hat is off to you for, showing other women how to do that.
Thank you. I'm trying to be the best public figure I can.
But and you are. And
Well,
you
with that
are.
being said, we're gonna go and listen to some more of your music during this commercial.
I pay the cost to be the boss, and these are known facts. And if you're doing the same thing, I know you're feeling that. Envy's a deadly sin, and most won't admit if you're not right with yourself. It gets comfortable and settles in. Play with yourself, don't test the mindset of this chess. Boy, my pen and my soldier state ready for war. You want some more? Your presence and opinion is irrelevant, unnecessary. If you can't comprehend, the rest gon' need a dictionary. I must be doing something right, they stalking me day and night. I ain't gon' be that night light to keep them comfortable at night. I'm actually the opposite, I own the streets, spreading rents. Matter of fact, when you see that buster telling me's late on rent. I'm hitting them daydreams and the way they conscious thinks. Fucking up mentalities for everyone who slept on me. Out here signing signatures, y'all gon' remember me. Just like the pain of a man that got castrated. Here, body rockin' salty suckers lyrically. They big hating if they say that they ain't feel me. Still here, I've been here, going in. I heard the news saying this love is a new hate. So I guess that I'm hating that they loving me. Not gon' stop me from giving them some more me. This is my year, I'm going in because I'm tired of making lame niggas look high. I'm here, body rockin' salty suckers lyrically. They big hating if they say that they ain't feel me.
Going in with the beautiful signature. So tell us a little bit about going in.
Going in, I'm so proud of going in. Like, I'm so proud of going in because going in came after the slander. Don't play with me was before coming into the industry, and then after winning awards and doing this, everyone's like, this. I'm like, I'm just being me. So after the slander, and then coming back to the stage and stuff like that, and keeping up with the big boys, I just decided to going in.
Going in.
It's about this is my year.
So what does this year have for you?
Nothing but abundance and blessing.
Amen.
And what does that look like? What is that? What does it entail? Is it professionally, personally? Like let your audience know why they should follow signature. Like what is she gonna bring?
She's gonna bring that every day. I bring that every day. I'm not
Mhm.
trying to hide nothing. I'm not trying to be nothing. You'll see bloopers. You'll see me trip down the stairs. The hill ain't right. You'll see me cook, clean, depending on what kid has an attitude, whoop ass. I'm not trying to. I'm not gonna say I'm not trying to. I'm gonna say I'm doing my best in the industry
Mhm.
to keep my morals
Yeah.
and stay true to bringing some of the backstage to the front stage.
Mhm.
Bringing awareness. So where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
As long as it's alive, I'm grateful. And I'm just being real because
Mhm.
I can't, I can feel like I can tell the future,
Mhm.
but we can go outside and then something happen and be a ricochet like a ripple or
Yeah.
a river and it just turn into something else. So, I do that Pocahontas adventure type where the wind takes me.
Okay. Tell us a little bit about the Kid and Play event.
Oh man, the kid and play events. Most definitely, I would honestly have to say the kid and play events are a blessing, and as well as the blessing that it is, it comes with love, respect, business, personal, all that. I would have to shout out to Low Key, the MC.
Mhm.
97.9 knows him, everything, the 15,000 K winner and stuff. That's a kid, kid and play. So we met on New Year's,
Mhm.
and the universe worked it together, and we've been putting things together, and it's networking. It's
Yeah.
it's it's networking beyond the network,
Okay.
Yeah.
and it's so.
So is it network like getting people together?
The
Like what
Mhm.
is
artists.
it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's getting artists together as well as major players.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like if we weren't doing something on the same day, she would have been there. You
Yeah.
know how okay, I'm blessed into the music industry. I'm adopted in and stuff like that.
Mhm.
There's people in the world that wouldn't know each other,
Yeah.
be
It's
able
like
to
a
get
meet
to
and
meet
greet network.
people
Mhm. Okay. So
without
it's a
knowing
networking
somebody.
event because
Yeah.
And,
I
and
was
that and that's
wondering what it
exactly
was.
what it is. It's a
Okay.
networking event. We don't do more than maybe 10 performances,
Mhm.
and that's first come first serve who wants to showcase their thing because in my training of the industry and stuff that goes on, I've learned that no matter whether it's one person, five people, or 5,000 people, you always perform with that same
Yeah.
energy
Yeah.
Yeah.
because you
Yeah.
never know who's who.
Mhm.
So these are networking events
Or
to
who
where we
knows who?
bring
Yeah.
who's who and
Mhm.
who knows who
Yeah.
in an area to where you're actually going to elevate from what you're doing. Because
Yeah.
I would say 7 out of 10, maybe 9 out of 10,
Mhm.
you go to these events or these networking events or these shows and stuff like that. And the most that you would do with somebody is exchange online information.
Mhm.
Right. Right.
Other than that, you don't do anything. You don't work together. You don't live together. You don't get to know each other on a personal basis, which I feel you need to develop a great, business, a great song, a great family.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So it's bringing people together. And anyone that wants to come, we weed out the people that are negative as well as position the people that are positive.
Positive. Mhm.
Mhm.
Because if you bring like minded soldiers all in the same place, if we're all focused on the same thing, it shouldn't be no negativity. It shouldn't be no bumps in the roads or
Mhm.
any of that. It should be
Mhm.
a whole bunch of creativeness
Mhm.
and development. So
Mhm.
if there are people there that aren't creating and developing or they're making it feel like a fall off, the next one they might not get a personal invitation to because I am still street.
Mhm.
I'm learning, I'm growing.
Mhm.
I'm not a millionaire. I'm not zero and everybody.
Mhm.
I'm not the people who signed me.
Yeah.
I'm learning.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But with me learning and all that, I do have an opportunity
Mhm.
to introduce people
Mhm.
like Miss Bad and Bougie,
Mhm.
to introduce people like Hitman,
Yeah.
to introduce people like platinum artist Little Kano. There's people that obviously, I've had to be checked by Uncle K Reno, Murder One. Shout
Yeah.
outs to SPC, SUC,
Mhm.
all the music families, but it's an opportunity
Mhm.
because backstage, nobody will be able to do this.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So why not? I got an
Mhm.
opportunity to meet
Mhm.
somebody. No matter how I either fell off or gained with that person,
Mhm.
I was given an opportunity to develop something.
Mhm.
So before I pass away, why not at least give that opportunity? I may not be able to right now afford a building and do a whole bunch of showcases, but I can afford to bring people together because this person may not mess with you, and I may not mess with this person, but we all come together because of this person.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And that's a very powerful thing.
Mhm.
And people don't seem to realize behind the picture they see.
They do it all the
Yeah.
time.
And the good thing
Mhm.
is I put showcases together. So,
Mhm.
so
See, I don't have a builder, she does.
and I'm just a phone call away,
Yeah,
you know.
and the funny thing is that because I focus on business and education, is that a lot of people believe they have to have a lot to start, and you don't. All you have to have is a willing mindset
Mhm.
to do what you want to do, and then a voice,
Mhm.
and things can happen.
And that you do have, and you have
Hmm.
more than what you think you have.
Exactly. That's what I was gonna get at next.
Now you're
We
starting.
don't know.
You
We
have
don't discredit
you have
ourselves.
more than what you think
Hmm.
you have.
Hmm. You do. It's just your mindset and your voice, and people don't understand. It's not where you came from; it's where you're going.
Mhm.
And then
Amen.
one of my favorite things, and I don't want to sit up here and be like the therapy of boss women in Houston, but one of my favorite things is the tortoise and the hare, the
I was
nurse's
gonna say
rhyme.
that too.
And
I'm
the
that
reason
tortoise.
why is because people think that you have to run fast to get where you're going, and
Mhm.
they will already underestimate you.
Mhm.
And it wasn't about how fast they were getting there, it was about the endurance.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
it was about that I know that my opponent is faster than me, but I'm still going to go and try to finish the race, to the point where the opponent slept on it. And
Mhm.
even though he got ready to pass him, he kept going. And when by the time the opponent woke up,
Don't
he
sleep
was
on me.
already crossing
The
the finish
finish
line.
line.
That's what going in is
So
about.
that's what I'm telling you right now. You tell people don't sleep on me, because if you do, I'll be crossing the finish line
Mhm.
when you wake up.
When you wake
Amen.
up.
So don't ever, and it doesn't matter about how fast you're doing it. It's
Mhm.
about the endurance
And that's what
Mhm.
that you're
Hitman
doing
always
it.
tells me.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Cause
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
we were in one business meeting. I was telling him, I was like, oh, I'm trying to keep up with the big boys. I'm a new artist and stuff. I was like, I feel like I should be doing this. He was like, it's not about
Mhm.
how fast you do it.
Right.
He was like, you need to put your feelings and your life into what you want people to see you as,
Mhm.
and that's what we're doing. Because
Yeah.
I do a great job
Mhm.
of keeping my personal and my business separate. Because there's a difference between knowing a person and knowing of a
Exactly.
It's not a sprint, it's a marathon.
Mhm.
person.
And just remember that no matter what you're going through, it may seem like you have to jump over many hurdles,
Mhm.
but the end result is the finish line.
Yep.
So whatever it is you got, that's what you do. And so I just want to commend you, and I want to say that I'm proud of you for what you're
Mm,
doing and where you're
Mhm.
going,
thank
and
you.
you are powerful in where you are and what you're doing. So I
Mhm.
don't know if it's Miss Bad and
I'm
Bougie
always
CEO
putting
wants
something
to say
together. I'm
anything.
working on. I got a call to do. Um, the car show 3 in Kima. We haven't. I have to go to Galveston, so they want us to bring car show 3 to Kima.
Oh
So for New
man.
Year's Eve.
Oh
So you better jump on the roster.
man.
So we're gonna have part 3, the old school crank it up car show in Kima for New Year's Eve.
Okay.
So we'll talk after that and
Yes,
you
ma'am.
know get you on the roster.
Yes, ma'am.
So we got part 2 coming up October 2nd, and
They ain't ready.
hmm,
Hashtag that with a capital D.
they ain't ready. DA ain't
Yeah, they
ready.
ain't
Yeah.
ready.
So
So
before,
yeah,
were you done? Sorry. Yeah, you're done. So
time go by
before
so
we
fast.
close out, is there anything you want to tell the audience of Boss Women in Houston and future followers before we close out? Look at the camera and let's tell them.
Right. No matter what anybody does or to you or says to you, believe in your dream. Look in that mirror. Tell yourself you got this every day.
Keep going.
Keep
Until next time, this is Boss Women in Houston. Love, peace, and unity.